Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Today we are back with our weekly Pokemon anime review, and this is episode 4, and it is called Let's Go to the Galar region and Encounter with Scorbunny. So this is the Galar region's anime debut, and we also get the debut of 2 Galar Pokemon with Nickit and Scorbunny. Honestly, for me, this was the best Pokemon episode so far, and also I saw a bit of feedback from you guys. You wanted these anime reviews to be a little bit shorter, because we've hit like the 20-minute mark on one of them, and like 18 minutes. We're going to aim for around 10 minutes for this one, just 10 minutes or so. So appreciate the feedback on that. But Ollie, let's get into this anime episode. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, this one was definitely my favourite. I definitely agree with you there. It was just really nice to see the Galar region, and obviously we get to see a lot of the cities within the game, but here we get to see a more expansive look at the region as a whole, like the side streets and the food stalls, the transport and all that jazz. It was really good. Typically as well of British transport is that it's terrible.
Yeah, that's very true.
3 hours for a train, 6 hours for a bus. Absolute joke as usual.
Yeah, so basically what happens in this episode, we'll talk about the plot. So Go tells Ash that gigantic Pokemon have been spotted in the Galar region, so they talk to Professor Sakuragi. He's like, this is a good opportunity for you. Somehow just balls out and gives these kids plane tickets to Galar.
Yeah, like he just had them in his pocket or something.
Yeah, exactly. I still want to know where he gets his money from. I'm still thinking it's probably like a governmental grant.
Got to be a research grant.
Yeah, but so they go to, I want to say it's Winden or Winden.
I call it Winden anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, it's the city that's based off London from Pokemon Sword and Shield. We get to see a bit of, a look of it. There's a lot of kind of spots I recognise from the games, like the fountain and the train station. But essentially, they're there just to see gigantic Pokemon, and they're supposed to head to the Wild Area train station to go check that out. But because there's such a wait for the train, they got to wait 3 hours. Ash decides to go get some food, and they find some scones, a British baked delicacy that Ash loves.
Yep. And Ash didn't really pay attention to Go as to what they were called. I don't think he ever will. Still calls them these little treat thingies or whatnot.
Yeah.
But there seems to be a bit of an obsession with them, with people and Pokemon, because Nickit and Scorbunny chase right after them and try and get them basically to survive on the streets. Scorbunny might as well be Scone Bunny in this episode because that's all he's after really, and I found it quite an endearing episode. He's like he's like an older brother for these Nickit, and he really looks out for them.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, honestly. Just the plot was very simple. It's just get Ash's backpack back, because basically Scorbunny and Nickit, they know that Ash has put some scones in there, and so Scorbunny distracts Ash and Go, and then the Nickit just take it, and it's just a really fun and good-willed episode in a way. It's nice to see that Scorbunny looks out for the Nickit, and they have good intentions. These Pokemon, they're just trying to survive, just trying to eat. And we also get to see Pikachu take on Scorbunny, and we saw this in a preview 3 or 4 weeks ago, and a lot of people were worried that Pikachu was going to lose, similar to how Pikachu lost to Snivy in Best Wishes. Thankfully, that isn't the case. Pikachu absolutely one-shot Scorbunny after taking like 1 or 2 hits. And basically, Ash gets his bag back. The scones have already been eaten, or at least they give them out, I think. I can't remember exactly how that happened.
I think they all eat them. Basically, they chase after the lot of Pokemon. Scorbunny tries to distract Ash and Go, thinking the Nickit have headed off one way. They split up, and Go tracks them down, basically. And rather than just rushing to get Ash's bag back, he watches and sees, obviously, he hands out all the Scorbunny hands out all the scones to the Nickit. And he's very much a researcher at heart, I feel. Like, he wants to observe them in the natural environment. Ash, on the other hand, gets angry and then wants to get his scones back and his bag back.
I mean,
and causes the confrontation.
If someone was stealing my food, I'd be very upset. So I can get that with Ash. But yeah, Scorbunny does not like Ash at all. It actually kicks him up the backside at one bit, which annoys Pikachu as it would. Your master's getting hurt from a wild Pokemon. Really likes Go though, because Go seems to praise Scorbunny with its kicks, and this is kind of like the start of a budding relationship between these two. But then we see later that the Nickit have again taken some scones from the same scone guy. Poor man's just trying to make a business out of these scones. They couldn't steal from anywhere else. He does chase after him into a dead end, and Scorbunny does protect him. And then Go's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. This is my Pokemon, and please forgive it." And the guy knows he's lying, which he finds it quite interesting. That why would you lie for a Pokemon you've just met? But they really take a liking to each other, Go and Scorbunny. And then it's time for them to get back on the train. It's kind of like that kind of adventure, or like that misdemeanor has come to its end, and the Nickits realise they can live without Scorbunny, and so they take Scorbunny to Ash and Go, who are running to get their train, and throw Scorbunny on.
Yeah, I don't think it's just that they can live without him, because it's very apparent that they are quite dependent on him throughout the show. So I think it's more than just they can survive without Scorbunny. I think they see Go and Scorbunny and think that, you know, they've got a great understanding of each other, they respect each other. So they basically carry Scorbunny off against his will. He's quite reluctant at first, Scorbunny, but obviously the Nickit at the train station show him that they're quite capable of getting by themselves. It was quite a touching scene, really, I thought.
Yeah, they kind of mimic Scorbunny's attitude and personality, and like kicking can around and then like doing its trademark pull down the eyelid kind of, and then just like show its butt to people, which is kind of like we've seen in Pokemon, and some Pokemon have done it before to taunt.
And I thought that was great because obviously Scorbunny covers itself in dirt to mimic the Nickit in a sense, so it was like a role reversal, full circle moment, and yeah, they wave him off as he gets on the train. It was really touching, and I really liked Nickit before this episode, but I've got a greater appreciation for them now after seeing them the way they are, like the expressions on the faces and everything looks great.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's something I love about the Pokemon anime, is there's some Pokemon it's not that I don't care for, it's just I don't think much of, and then I'll see an episode that shows them and their personality, and that's why I was really looking forward to the new Pokemon anime. We get to see some new Pokemon make their debuts, and they just look more interesting in art form rather than 3D models. They can kind of look a bit bland at times. So yeah, Nickit's kind of, they weren't the star of the show, but they were very, very good. But basically, Ash and Go get their train, they go into the wild area, and it kind of ends there. Scorbunny is on the same train. They've not met up yet, but we know they're going to meet up next episode, and Scorbunny's basically going to join the team. Whether Go will catch him, we're going to find out. It's touch and go at the moment.
It could be on a provisional basis, because Go in the preview like, oh, sorry Scorbunny, my first Pokemon's going to be Mew.
Yeah,
like,
he's
mate,
still going
you're
with that.
never going to own a Pokemon at this rate, so
Exactly.
Don't kid yourself.
I do think he will catch Scorbunny. I think he'll have to at some point, or Scorbunny's just going to follow Go and then get caught maybe in the last episode, something like that.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
But let's talk about the episode as a whole. Let's kind of do the review portion. Honestly, easily my favourite Pokemon episodes so far. Like, the first two episodes were good. I really wasn't too fussed about the last episode with all the Ivysaur. It was just boring, not much happened. We did see Team Rocket, and their new mechanic was fun, but it felt like I've seen that episode kind of type of episode, I guess, many times before. But this episode felt fresh. We got to see new Pokemon make their debut, got to see a new region, albeit they didn't really talk about the Galar region too much. It was always cloudy. Kind of want to see a bit more dynamic to it. But at least we've seen one of the cities. I'm assuming they're going to visit a lot of the Galar cities, maybe even meet some of the characters from the Pokemon Sword and Shield games, because they did show Professor Magnolia in a picture at the start saying there's gigantic Pokemon, which are obviously the Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon, but it would be cool to see like Sonia, some gym leaders and stuff like that.
Yeah, I again really loved this episode, definitely the best so far. I haven't found any disappointing. I know you didn't particularly like the last one.
Yeah.
I still found it fine, but definitely the weakest one, yeah. But this one was great, and it's done what I wanted more than anything from this show to do, and that's expand upon the regions that we play in the games, give it a bit more life to the cities and stuff. And yeah, it was really nice to see just like a little river next to this scone stand. It was just a nice little regional touch of such, which you don't get to see in the games.
Yeah, the cleanest the Thames has ever looked, you were saying.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that water was practically crystal.
Yeah, we don't have rivers like that in the UK, honestly, unless you're out in like the countryside. But yeah, a very good episode. The animation was very good, which has kind of been definitely more consistent since, I think it was the third episode that kind of dropped off a bit, maybe.
I don't think it dropped off. I think it was just, hey, we don't need to go overboard on, Sakuga, for these sort of, well, it was sort of like a lull, wasn't it? Last week's episode, it was a nice relaxed episode. This one was nice to see reusing a layout from episode 2 of Ash using Thunderbolt, well, ordering Pikachu to use Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it still looks great.
It's such a great cut, I love it. And yeah, to see it being reused is great. But yeah, really excited for the next week's episode. We get to see the wild area. No lag as well, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, for those who don't know, if you play Pokemon Sword and Shield online, like you're connected to the internet and you go into the wild area, the frame rate is ridiculously bad at times.
It's crashed my game before, so
it's still fun, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I really do like it. But the wild area, I normally do play offline because it's just that bad. But yeah, we get to see a few Pokemon so far, like Phantom there and what's his name? Hippopotamus?
Hippopotas, yeah.
Hippopotas.
We'll get there eventually.
I don't know how I messed it up.
James, before we end this review, did you have a favourite scene from today's episode?
Favourite scene? You know, I actually just found it funny, Scorbunny kicking the bag around Ash's backpack when they find it. He's just literally really skilled with his feet, as we know Scorbunny is, because it's kind of based off like a football player. In a way, it has those kind of football skills, which we know Cinderace has with Pyro Ball. But yeah, he's just kicking his bag everywhere, and he's just perfectly kicks it onto a lamppost, gets it stuck, and Ash kind of is just like, are you kidding? Like, seriously, you got it up there?
It's funny you mentioned about Pyro Ball, actually, because that often starts off as a little pebble. And that's
true,
what he was kicking about. I've got to say my favourite scene, and it was early on, but I just loved the toothbrushing scene. It's just so goofy with Pikachu mimicking Ash. And we also get to see that Go has red hair.
Oh yeah, that was weird, yeah, because we know he has black hair and like little red bits in. But you can see
I thought that was like a hair clip, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, but you can see like the kind of wiry red hair sticking out, like bed hair or bedhead kind of thing. Yeah, interesting.
I feel like we learn more about Go the more episodes we watch, which
and I
is
felt
really
like
interesting.
This episode was definitely like, it was obviously both of theirs. It just definitely felt like a dual protagonist episode, but it was definitely more of Go's episode, and I really liked that. It was good to see Go get a bit more development and just see how he's really into Pokemon, and he's definitely has his own ideals that Pokemon can achieve anything. But Ash is kind of like the guy who wants to help Pokemon out, but Go wants to kind of give power to the Pokemon, which he does with Scorbunny. He tells it you can do anything. You know, there's a big wide world out there for Scorbunny. He doesn't have to be resigned to living on the streets. I thought that was quite good. Honestly, it's a really good episode. I'm the one who reviews these episodes in terms of score-wise at the end. I know Ollie don't like that. For me, this was like a really, really solid episode, like a 9 for me. Not much more could have been better about this episode, just more action. It was just really, really fun.
Yeah, I'm not one to give a numeric, but like I say, definitely the best episode so far. And that, I think, does it for the review. I think we've done this in quick time, James.
Yeah, this is a much quicker review.
Sort of what we're aiming for, isn't it?
Yeah, so I know we've obviously had long reviews in the past. We will try and get them to around this time, maybe even a bit shorter. But this was, like I said, a very good episode. If you haven't watched it, definitely do so. And if you're waiting for like the dub or something, or you know, you're just waiting to watch it later, this episode is definitely worth the wait. Very fun. So yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this episode review, make sure to hit the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon anime, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below to become a part of the Twintendo Nation.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support so far. We really do appreciate the comments and feedback and everything. Hope you have an awesome day, and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace!